Greetings, Blade fans. OG Blade Reviews with you once again. And once again, I have a knife from the new company, knife company, newer, I suppose. Not sure when they began, but it is called Fintiso or Fintiso. Fintiso? That's the pronunciation I'm going to give it. This is the second knife they have provided to me for review. They reached out a month or so ago and sent along this beautiful button knife in what they call the Cobra series. Take a look at that in a moment for compare. But here is the box, and they do a nice packaging job, very similar to what you get from Kaiser or Concept. And magnetic flap. I think a lot of bucks go into the production here. And inside we get the user manual, Fintiso use manual, and that gives us a little bit about them. So if you want to freeze frame that, that's a little bit about the company. And precautions, hey, it's a sharp knife and don't break it and that kind of stuff. So, excuse me for glibly skating past that. Let's open the pouch up. Nice fabric, kind of Cordura sort of pouch. Inside we've got a sticker for Fintiso, and we have a branded microfiber cloth. Also get couple extra screws in case you lose them. Got some screws loose. Anyway, here is the new one that was just sent to me. Both of these, by the way, the old one, the Cobra, and the new one have aluminum handles. And this new one is called the Odyssey, also with an aluminum handle, in a kind of a very dark green aluminum, anodized aluminum, I would think. And we have exposed liners. It is a liner locking knife and very smooth action. Double opening methods, thumb stud, as well as flipper tab. And I would say that the action on both is quite nice. Detent's just right for that smoothness of the bearings. I can feel it. So yeah, the detent, some may prefer a little stiffer. If you use your thumb, I hardly put any effort into that at all. Yeah, I can feel it. You really have to go light. But if you just do a very casual movement like that, opens without a problem. Same thing with the back flipper. So I'm not calling that a problem whatsoever. We have a very surprisingly ergonomic handle. Whoops, can't drop it. For a knife that looks maybe at first glance to have a handle that's a little odd. We have it swell out here, which goes right into the palm, taper there, and pinch in here where the finger goes, and a nice cutout for the liner. Adequate jimping on the back, a little bit on the soft side. Again, they've got a coating on here, kind of a gray coating on this one that somewhat smooths out the thumb or the jimping. That's what I meant to say, thumb jimping. But yeah, that fit is really, really nice. And we're going to get some measurements on it so you got an idea of the size. I would say the handle is certainly full size, about 3/4 of an inch left over in my medium large hands. Jimping on the backspacer there as well. A folded over clip that's almost deep carry, that is not transferable to the left side of the knife, unfortunately. That is one thing I would possibly recommend to Fintiso. 7 3/4 inches overall, and 3 1/4 inch blade with a cutting edge also of 3 1/4. Other dimensions. Dimension of time and space. Twilight Zone. Inches, 0.57 on the handle might seem a little thick to you, but it is nicely hand filling. Thickness of the blade, 0.12 in inches and 3.1 millimeters. So for a 3 1/4 inch knife, it's a little on the hefty side. It's not your real super slim knife, but it's not crazy fat either. Let's see, the weight on it is 4.34 ounces, we'll call that. And yes, there is weight relieving on the inside on those steel liners. Let's take a look at that. You can see inside there. And we have weight relieving on both sides. So that certainly helps. And the steel, if I didn't mention it, and I don't think I did, is 14C28N. The cool thing about these is on Amazon, they are currently going for $49.95. And they're offering a 25% discount. If you click that coupon right on Amazon, drops the price to $40. And if you're a Prime member, you'll get free shipping. But you will need to pay tax, unlike something like White Mountain. Not sure White Mountain's carrying these yet, but getting them from Amazon, you can get them in like a day or two. So you can get this pretty quickly. The blade is basically a drop point with a little bit of a clip here. Very subtle clip and a swedge. Fairly high grind and seems to come through fairly sharp. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. I think the Cobra was pretty sharp too. That's nice. Very nice edge they put on that. It's a little on the smooth side, so it's shaving sharp, but not a lot of bite. So you may change that with a little bit of sharpening if you know what you're doing, and hopefully you do. If you're watching this channel, I hope you know how to sharpen a knife, because they're going to get dull. Any knife is going to get dull. 14C or 20CV or Magna Cut, they're all going to get dull eventually if you're using them. Nice chamfer there on the liner. The liner is relatively thick, and it is contacting there about 25%, I think. That's what I would call it. Too bad they didn't give you the clip that goes to the left side. No provision there, as I said. It is inletted into the handle and flathead screws, so that's quite nice. Smooth in and out of the pocket with, I would say, just the right amount of tension. Felt pretty good in my pocket. Lightly branded Fintiso. And the steel. Nice guard, fits pretty well, very well, in the point down edge out position. You could force it into the edge in position, but not very comfortably. What else we got? Plunge Grind, I'm starting to talk about that. Some people are interested, and looks like we've got pretty good provision for resharpening. I think you could get in there. Whether or not the Thumbstud's going to be in your way, I'm not sure, but they've set it back pretty far in the blade, and it is in a real perfect position. I do like Thumbstuds, by the way. I ain't a front flipper guy. Somebody told me the other day, if he had his way, all knives would have front flippers on them. But then again, all knives are different, and the ergos on those knives are different, and a front flipper may not work. What can I say, And if that was you, my apologies, buy knives that have front flippers on them. Couple of things real quick, since this has both a back flipper, and a thumb stud. Thing is, you pull a knife out of your pocket. I don't know how quickly you need to get it deployed, but certainly you don't want to drop it even if you're using it for work or whatnot. You take it out of your pocket, and then you bring your finger over the top to open it. That places your hand in an end position here. You now need to grasp the knife that way, okay? I use the thumb stud, and it's already pretty much in position. I believe Jim Skelton has mentioned this as well, that he likes the concept of the thumb stud for that reason. Downside of the thumb stud, sometimes they stick out too far, sometimes they get in the cutting path, sometimes they stick out and they get you a little bit when they're in your pocket and wear your pocket. So there's some downsides, obviously, to thumb studs. Bob Trezzola sort of modified the concept and created the thumb disc, which I happen to like. But again, it depends on the application. How did the company apply the concept of the thumb studs or the thumb disc or the back flipper or the front flipper? Can you get to that front flipper easily? There's a lot of people out there that have more dexterity in their hands than I do at my advanced age. And when I first started using one-hand opening knives, those other methods did not exist. Very few had the back flipper, and almost none had the front flipper. And since then, I've seen some even with an end flipper. You know, you can bring your finger around and do it that way. I think if you can do that, that's not bad because it's very close to using the back flipper. But again, ending up in this position as opposed to ending up in this position, I think if you need to deploy it quickly and get a secure grip and you're not just doing yo-yo techniques and acrobatics with it, and ballet song stuff, then I prefer that. Not making fun of you if you fidget with your knife. I think, what was that guy's YouTube channel? We All Juggle Knives. It was a fairly old channel now. I think he's still around. Anyway, this is the Cobra by Fintiso for compare. So there you have a same size knife. They're going pretty much the same size. I think we got a 3 1/4 here, and I think this is a 3.1, as I recall. We have somewhat thicker handle on this than on the Cobra. I don't know, the caliper's still nearby. All right, so go to inches. We've got 0.57, and maybe it only seems smaller. And about the same, 0.56. Except here we've got kind of a radiused profile, and here we got a chamfered one with more of a flat. So to me, they both feel pretty good in the handle. This being a little slicker, a little shinier, and this having kind of a bead blast texture to it. I don't know if you call it a texture, but it's not as slippery. It's a dull finish, as you can see. But a nice and ergonomic knife. Let's bring out something from Tenable, the new version of the Anomaly, designed by Dirk Pinkerton, that was originally under the Concept label, and the Concept now has their budget line, Tenable. You can see it's a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller, and the blade a little bit shorter. Whole different construction here. We're using liners with G10, JG10 on this one, and we're using Nitro V on the blade, and we've got kind of a stonewash going on there. And we have just a little bit slicker finish going on here with this one, whose name again is, so sorry. On the box, they don't give the name. I had to go to the website, the Odyssey. So the Fintiso Odyssey. One more knife for comparison, since I happen to have it in the pocket, is the Valkyrie by Thumbstud. And that's slightly, ever so slightly longer. This is becoming a very favorite pocket carry for me, daily carry. Button lock with their Trek lock, also with thumb studs, and also with a front flipper with really good jimping and transferable clip. So I think the Fintiso company can probably take some lessons from Vostede in putting the clip, making it available for the lefties in the world. And I'm a lefty, but I'm also a righty. Had to learn both sides. That's the best way to do it, really, is become as ambidextrous as you can. Then you injure one hand, you can use the other one, you know. You learn out of necessity. So again, this is the new knife design, and there are others, by the way, by Fintiso, the Odyssey. I think you would enjoy this for 40 bucks. That is well within the budget category for those that don't like to spend a lot on their knives. You get 14C28N. You get very solid construction and lockup on that aluminum handle with a very nicely done liner. Well, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe right over here now. You're going to see my logo. You click that and you can subscribe to the channel and be notified when new things drop. Be well, take care, enjoy.